Have you ever seen a painting so cursed that it refuses to burn, even when everything around it turns to ashes? A painting that brings fire, destruction, and tragedy to anyone who dares to own it? Hundreds of homes reduced to ruins. Yet one thing always survives: the sorrowful gaze of the crying boy. Is it a mere coincidence or something far more sinister? Stay with me, because once you hear this story, you might never look at a painting the same way again. Once there was a painting, a simple painting, a portrait of a boy, his eyes filled with sorrow, a tear clinging to his cheek. A masterpiece of melancholy. But what if I told you this painting was cursed, that anyone who dared to keep it in their home would face an unimaginable fate: fire, destruction, death. It all began in the 1950s when an artist named Bruno Amadio, also known as Giovanni Bragolin, created the haunting image. The painting quickly gained popularity. Families all over Europe adored it, hanging it on their walls, oblivious to the terror they had just invited into their homes. Then, the fires began. Mysterious, unexplained fires. Homes reduced to ashes. Entire families left with nothing but ruins. But there was one thing, one eerie, impossible thing, that always remained untouched by the flames. The painting. The crying boy. Firefighters, confused and horrified, started noticing a pattern. House after house, fire after fire, the painting survived. While everything around it burned, the sorrowful eyes of the boy remained staring into the void. How was this possible? Why did it not burn? People whispered of a curse. They said the boy in the painting was real, that he had died in a fire, that his spirit, filled with anguish and pain, had been trapped inside the artwork. And now he was seeking revenge. He was making others suffer, just as he had suffered. Some believed the boy had been orphaned, his parents lost to a fire. Others claimed the artist had made a pact, a dark, unholy pact, to ensure his paintings would be remembered forever. And if that meant tragedy had to follow, then so be it. The legend grew. More and more reports emerged. In the 1980s, British newspapers began to document the strange occurrences. People who owned the painting swore they heard faint cries at night, the sound of footsteps in empty rooms, objects moving on their own, shadows lurking in corners where no shadows should be. A family in England claimed that the very night they hung the painting, their house caught fire. Another family, desperate to break the curse, tried to burn it, but the flames refused to consume it. Instead, the fire spread, consuming everything else. And the painting? It remained untouched, just as it always had. Terrified homeowners rushed to get rid of it. They threw it away, only for it to reappear. They destroyed it, only for another identical one to take its place. Some took it to churches, hoping holy ground would neutralize its darkness. But the fear never faded. Experts tried to explain it away. They said the painting was coated with a special varnish that made it fire-resistant, a simple scientific phenomenon. But could science explain the voices, the whispers, the feeling of being watched even in an empty room? As the fear grew, mass burnings of the paintings were organized. People gathered to destroy them, believing it was the only way to rid themselves of the curse. But even as the flames swallowed the paintings, some claimed to hear a child's voice, like crying, weeping, pleading. And then, something even stranger happened. Decades later, copies of the painting began resurfacing in thrift stores, attics, and abandoned buildings. Almost as if the curse had never truly ended, as if it was waiting for new victims. So I ask you, have you ever seen the Crying Boy painting? Have you ever felt an unexplainable chill down your spine? And if you ever come across it, will you take the risk? Will you bring it into your home? Or will you turn away before it's too late?